What's up, y'all? What's up?
Hola. It is the day before Thanksgiving. And we are here. Why we haven't gone off on other things? Why you do that? What is happening? What's going on? We're coming to you this evening. What's happening? What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? We are going live here. And we just wanted to take a minute this evening to get grateful. You know a little bit about getting grateful, Ben?
I do. I really do.
Yeah, we wanted to get grateful, y'all, this evening because it's that time of year. And we wanted to also talk about, specifically for us, why gratitude. Some people sleep on gratitude. Some people think it's really not that serious. It's really not a big deal. You know, it's like philosophical, but it's not real. And we want to tell you, for those of you who have followed us for some time, we want to really talk to you about how we have actually practiced the art of gratitude. Yeah. And if you're listening right now, hey, I see you, Trina. I see you, Linda. I see folks joining on the Bland page. Wherever you're joining in and you're listening to us, I want you to understand that for real, you might sleep on it. You might think it's not a big deal, but I just want to let you know that if you want a good relationship, you want a fabulous marriage, you want to be with the one who you feel fulfills you and compliments you perfectly and imperfectly. You want to be with someone who, you know, can get you and you can get them. You want to be able to have the kind of life that represents
they think the mic is
two people. Oh, really? Maybe it might be my mic. Thank y'all for letting us know. Thank you, Gabriel. If you want that kind of love, let us know if it's better. If you want that kind of love, you want that kind of relationship, what we tell people all the time, and when I say all the time, I mean all the time when we're coaching couples, is, hey, you might want to get grateful. You might want to just pause for a second. And in therapy, we call it reframing. Reframing and looking at things from a different perspective. You might be like, man, why I got to deal with this? Why I got to deal with this Negro who be bringing me all these types of issues? And why this woman always coming to me this way? And what did I do to deserve this life? Where I got to work so hard with these kids? But if you reframe it and you get grateful, it is not just philosophical woo-woo stuff. It is very, very, very real in terms of the impact that it can have on you as an individual, your relationship. Thank you, Gabriel. You're looking out for us, and your marriage or your relationship. So y'all know what we got to do. I want to know where you're coming from. I want to know where you're watching us from. Let us know. I see you, Marjani from East Orange, New Jersey, and Sharita representing Palm Beach.
Yes, indeed.
Sharita, let us know, what is it like there in Palm Beach? How does it feel?
I wish I was there right now.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Why is it when you're in a cold place? Cheryl, so you in Chicago. It's probably freezing like I don't know. I'm scared to go to Chicago, Cheryl.
Cheryl got a mug on right now. Cheryl looking.
She might like the cold. Cheryl, tell us. Do you like the cold? You like this is lovely. This is the life. All right, Antoinette from Dallas, we see you. And we have Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the house. Kiana is checking in. Coming all the way from Columbus, Ohio, my sister Tanisha. Happy Thanksgiving Eve, Tanisha.
Yeah.
And Raquel just joined us, and we got Tampa, Florida in the house, and we got Delonte in the house. So we just thank you for taking a second, because if you're like me, I had to pause from my Thanksgiving preparation. I had to pause from that for a second so that we could come here and we could get grateful, so that we know what this is really all about. Greenville, North Carolina in the house. What's up, Detroit? We see you. What up, Doe? What up? We see you in the house, Detroit representing.
Hey, so Detroit, why didn't y'all beat the Cavs the other day? I'm kind of frustrated with Detroit right now. Why didn't y'all beat the Cavs the other day? I was really hopeful. I'm going back and forth with my sons talking about the Cavs about to get blasted. But Detroit gonna put up a big goose egg. I don't understand. I don't get it. Come on, Detroit.
He kind of coming for you a little bit, just a little bit. We see you, Greenville, North Carolina, representing the house. Y'all know what we got to do before we start. This is not going to be long and drawn out. We want you to be very, very, very focused this evening. Jaquita from upstate South Carolina, we see you, sis. And Tiffany from California. We want you to be very focused.
We got Philly in the house, Kansas City. What's up, y'all?
Y'all just be coming from everywhere. I just want to know what y'all doing. What you doing? Y'all ain't said what y'all doing. You like, stirring something right now? Or you like, some people don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Anybody got a drink?
Some people don't do that. So y'all
Does anybody got a drink right now?
Do you have a drink like us? You know, what are you doing? Tanisha said, watch that cab talk, Ayize. But look, y'all, we just want to do this. Sometimes you got to stop and pause, because let me just tell y'all, life is stressful. Can I be real?
Mm-hmm.
Well, life can be stressful, even though it can be really, really good at the same time. Chiquita, you cooking them pies. What kind of pie you cooking? You know how to cook some pies, Chiquita? Yvette is in the house, and I see you. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, sis, but I'm going to say Sunshine. Sunshine Warren is sipping, honey. So here it is, y'all. We have to take time to get grateful and know that wherever we find ourselves, whatever situation, whatever circumstance, as an individual or as a couple, life is really golden.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not?
It is.
Life is golden. And if you don't think it's golden, you're like, nah, not really. You just have to live like it's golden. And I like how I did that. I just went on ahead and introduced that, but you know, we always got to do a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of ooh.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Ooh.
Got to. Come on now, do y'all hear that? Oh, come on, living your life.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, can you like?
I'm reaching for my drink right now.
Yes. This is Jill Scott right here, y'all. Yes. We got to live our life like it's golden, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do that, and we have that perspective in our relationships, that's right, golden, Tanisha, then we don't have to wait for something. Huh? Yeah, we don't have to wait. We can just be golden all day.
Yeah.
I'm golden all day.
Mm-hmm.
I had a long day.
Mm-hmm.
I had a long day yesterday. And life
you got a long
golden.
day every day.
I'm telling you.
Every day is a long day.
Everything is it's long in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it's a short day,
mm-hmm.
it's a long day.
Long, yeah.
And I'll be like, where my wine at? Can I get my wine? All right, guys. So look, we are going to go ahead and get started this evening. So for those of you who have joined us and you came intentionally, you were like, oh, they said they're talking about gratitude tonight. You might have been drawn to us because you might want to know a little bit about this practice of gratitude and why it's so important.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to share this with you just for me. One of the things that I have been known to do back in the day, thank you for the likes and the hearts, y'all. One of the things that wait a minute, let me back it up. We introduce ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
This is my fabulous husband, Ayize Ma'at.
And this is my lovely wife, Aiyana, Ma'at.
And we are relationship coaches. We are licensed therapists. We are the Ma'ats. And so what do? We answer questions. We help people with their relationships. We give couples advice. We coach folks. And we live this life every day, every single day. Hey, Sonia, I see you, sis. And so what we have been called to do is just to share a little bit of our own lives, our own struggles, our own successes, while we help other people get through theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're here to do in the lane of relationships and in the lane of personal development.
Yeah.
So back to gratitude. Let me tell you something.
Before you talk about gratitude, let me just say this.
Okay.
Always gotta give a disclaimer.
What?
You know, so while we are licensed therapists, this right here, it ain't therapy. All right, we're giving our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
We're throwing out some recommendations maybe sometimes, but this ain't therapy, so don't get it twisted, all right?
Right. And as you're listening this evening, if you feel so compelled, and we hope you feel compelled, hey, Naomi, I see you from the Marriage Investors. We want you to share this video. Go ahead and share this video. Go ahead and tag somebody, because it's all about gratitude on this day before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it was the day before Thanksgiving or not, we need to know how to get grateful, how to stop and get grateful in the moment, wherever we find ourselves, at any point in time, any day of the week, any moment of the day. Because you can't be grateful. You can't be grateful and have an attitude. You can't be grateful and have a problem. You can't be grateful and be picking with your man like, why you didn't do this? You can't be grateful and critical. You might think that you can do that, but you can't. You got to pick one or the other. And what I was getting at earlier is that back in the day, early on in our marriage, you know, Ayize might have thought that every now and then, maybe a little more frequently than every now and then, I might have been maybe A wee bit critical?
I see how you qualify that thing by saying maybe. I'm not going to say maybe. Just make that thing a definite and then say back in the day I was.
I'm just easing into it.
I was critical, not a wee bit critical, but I was critical.
Yeah, and do you all know anything about that? Some people don't want to fess up to it, but do you have a spouse or a partner who can be very critical? Do you know that about yourself? Did you used to mess with somebody back in the day? You used to always have something to say, always have some type of advice to give, some type of feedback to give. You ain't asked them nothing. No. And they got an opinion that they want to share with you. And so at the end of the day, what we have to understand, what we have to realize is that criticism is not helpful and it's not healthy in a relationship. Mm-hmm. In order for you to get what you want, you have to make the request. Mm. You have to make the request. And so one of the things that helped me learn how to change my criticism into requests, Shantae, I see you, sis. One of the things that helped me to do that is I had to first get grateful. Mm-hmm. I had to just be like, you know what, let me just figure out what I'm happy about. You know, this man is irritating the mess out of me right now, but what am I happy about? My situation, my work situation, my this, my that, all kinds of things can frustrate us. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, as you're kind of thinking right now, are you thinking as we get closer to the end of the year, what is frustrating you? What are the things, where are the places where you find yourself tight? You know, what is it? I mean, I really want y'all to drop those comments. Zadiah, I see you, Zadiah. Oh, sis, from back in the day when we started teaching relationship education classes. I see you. What are the things that are problematic? What are the things that continue to keep you unsettled? Keep you unsettled in your relationship, in your life? And you know, I want to share this. I remember back in the day, my husband and I were in counseling, and I don't even remember exactly what we were. You see, I'm holding my mic, y'all, because I ain't got time. But I don't even remember exactly what it was that I was complaining about, because I was a professional complainer. But I don't remember exactly what it was. But I remember the therapist, Dr. B, she said, I think that's an issue that you have. I don't remember what it was, but I was complaining about something that I thought.
Every single issue. She said that with everything.
No, she did not.
That's the issue that you got.
No, she didn't. No, it was something. I know it'd be helpful if I knew, right? But the point is really not the particulars, even though we like to know the particulars, right? The point is this. She said, you are projecting your issue onto your husband. So I want you to think about the places where you find yourself stressed, where you find yourself tight, where you find yourself dissatisfied, whether it be in your relationship or with your children or with your boss or with your life, wherever it is. And when you talk to your friends or the person who you feel safe with, or when you are rapping about what you are concerned about, right? You talk about that person and perhaps you are projecting your stuff onto the other person. Perhaps you are making the issue about them, and the issue is really your own dis-ease, your own stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So let me give you an example. Can I give an example real quick?
Go ahead.
All right. Ooh, your feet are cold.
I'm sorry.
Move them things over. so let me think of an example really quickly. So I can think about this in my business. You know, my husband and I are business partners, and you know, anybody who's been in business with another person, not just by yourself or even with a partner. Maybe you're not in business. Maybe you work together in some way. You perhaps volunteer somewhere. You at church on the committee. You do something together, right? And so you got to work with your spouse in some way. And you all are what? Different. You have different strategies, different approaches, whatever. Things that are important to you are not as important to them, blah, 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 right? And so I remember in my own special kind of way, you know, voicing my frustration with my husband around the way that he approaches things, around the way that he comes at things, the level of importance he does not give things in our business, just in terms of like how we approach certain things, how we meet, what we focus on, what we talk about. And the reality is this. Oftentimes I was looking to you, Ayize. I was looking to you for something that I needed to get from myself. Oftentimes I was looking to you for the motivation, for the partnership to inspire me, to give me some wherewithal, right? And I'm waiting on you and criticizing you the whole time. Like, can you come on? You keep saying we're going to do this and we ain't da-da-da-da-da. And at the end of the day, the bottom line is that whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you want to see in your relationship, in your marriage, in your family, you want better finances. Lead the process, lead the way. Stop talking to somebody else, talking about, can you come on? Can you come on? Yeah, they need to come on, but somebody's got to take the first step. You said, well, I don't know what to do. So you know what? When we don't know what to do, we project onto the other person and we say, you need to, or we need to. And I'm just really frustrated because I feel like I'm by myself. But what are you doing? What have you done differently? We need to have a better spiritual life. We need to connect in a spiritual way. We need to, pray together, whatever it may be, right? Well, how are you leading? How are you leading the process instead of just looking at the other person? And I've been a queen in that way. Because it lets me off the hook when I look to you and say, well, what we gonna do? We still ain't where we need to be. You understand what I'm saying? And so what I want to say to you is that the pathway to that place is to be grateful for the partner that you have. It may not be the partner that you exactly wanted. It's okay to say that. But he's the partner, she's the partner that you have and that you have been given and that you have been blessed with. And he or she is not the partner that you need. Did I mean to say that? He or she is not the partner that you need. I'm sorry. Yeah. He or she is not the partner that you may have wanted in your mind, but he or she is the partner that you really do need. Yeah. The partner that you do need, who challenges you in some ways and who puts you in a place where you have to really stretch yourself beyond what you realize. But you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to get to these places of challenge unless you get grateful. Start thinking about what you do have in your relationship.
That's true. That's true. I want to go in a different direction for a second.
Go ahead.
Considering the fact that we're entering into the holiday season, I think that it's important to really acknowledge that while there's celebration, rah-rah, happiness, and fun stuff going on for a whole host of people out there, the reality is that there's a lot of people out here who are struggling. As people are struggling emotionally, as people are struggling right here on this live stream right now. And it's not struggling in the sense that, they're not necessarily sure about, where their next meal is coming from. That may be the case. But some people have lost some people this year or somebody this year. And this holiday season right here is really a reminder of who's not here with you, who's not going to be sitting down at the table with you. And so what I want to do is really just take a moment to acknowledge that I recognize and I see that everybody deals with grief in some form or fashion. Everybody has some challenges, some struggles, and it's not easy for a good number of people. I remember earlier this year, I lost a good friend of mine. It just like rocked me to the core. The reality, I ain't that old, I'm 40 and to lose somebody who's about to be 40.
He wasn't even 40 yet?
He wasn't even 40 yet, and it wasn't like anything violence related or anything like that, but it was health related. And so just to be able to look at somebody that you grew up with, somebody that you was tight with, close with, kicked it with, and somebody that was just a straight up good dude, and to lose that person, that like really rocked me to the core. And so to not have him around during this holiday season is difficult. We got people that we're good friends with that lost babies this year, lost children this year. And it's really rough, y'all. So, during this time period, I really want you to be sensitive, be mindful, be aware that, yes, we're celebrating the goodness of this experience of this time period, but the reality is that there's some pain that people are walking around with. And if you can do anything, be as supportive as possible to really like uplift their spirits and make them feel better, because it's rough, y'all. It's really rough for some people out here.
So, this is really important. One of the things that I tell people all the time is that one of the things that we do very easily as people is that we're very sensitive to other people most of the time. And we try to be there for other folks, but we're not very compassionate with ourselves. We don't really pay attention to what we need. Have you thought about that? Like, what do you need? What do you need? And we're living in us right here. Everybody may not be viewing from the United States, but we're in the United States of America. And so, this time of year, when we get into the holiday season, Thanksgiving and so forth, and we get into the Christmas season and so forth, it's a time where people kind of slow down in this country. Right? People kind of slow down in this country and people start to get together with family and come together. And then as we get towards the end of the year, people start reflecting on, what was this year all about? What do I want to do differently? Or, what am I disappointed in or whatever? And at the end of the day, what I find all the time, Ayize, and I know you know this because I tell you this all the time, is people are so hard on themselves. Why are we so hard on ourselves? I didn't get to where I wanted to be. I didn't, achieve the things I wanted to achieve. I'm sad because I don't have a connection with this person. And, what is it about me that, I can't seem to make that connection. And it's really important to be honest and to be reflective in our process, so because we're all trying to be better people. If you listen to us, it's because you're trying to be a better person. You didn't listen to us because you want to hear about Housewives of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? You listen to us because you want to be a better person. We're all trying to do that, right? But we have to have the same level of compassion and flexibility and understanding for ourselves that we have for other people. And when I'm working with folks, what I tell people all the time is write it down. Tell me why it is you should be understanding of all the stuff that you've had to deal with. You should be understanding of the places where you don't think you hit it. You should be understanding and compassionate and care for yourself. How is it that you should take care of yourself? Write it down because we do that for other people. I know she's probably going through right now because she's had a lot on her plate. He's been really, really, really stressed at work. And, my mother over here got, well, what about you? And then what do? We look for other people to take care of us. And what I tell folks all the time, and I'm still learning this one for myself, we cannot get from other people what we're not willing to do for ourselves. That one just hit me in my soul because, we're looking for somebody else to come tell us to sit down.
Yeah.
I think I done told folks before, I get a little irritated sometimes when my husband steals away for a nap. Steal away for an afternoon nap. And I'd be like, this man done rolled out and went to take a nap. Everybody down here, the kids running around. It's all loud down here. The cooking down here is all kind of stuff. And this man done gone to sleep.
Ghost.
Right? and so what am I looking for? That one, and actually he's done it. You don't want him to say, baby, go take a nap. Go sit down. And he's done that. Right? But why is it that I won't do that for myself? Why won't I give myself permission for that? You know what I'm saying? And so it's not just about a nap. It's about getting a break. It's about cutting yourself slack. It's about seeing yourself differently, building yourself up. Have compassion for yourself. And one of the things that will be most helpful for that is doing what we call a self-compassion pause. A self-compassion pause is when you catch yourself in the moment, in your head, starting to go through a process where you are kind of like beating yourself up or second guessing yourself or feeling doubtful or feeling jealous or feeling some type of way. And there's self-talk that happens in our mind. And we don't even, know that it's happening half the time. As soon as you can catch yourself, you can start to catch yourself in it. Then you have to say, self-compassion pause. You just literally pause. If you have to look down, look to the side. Sometimes I go like this, I snap. I know y'all think like, what is that? People think I'm crazy. That's all right. I snap because I'm disrupting the pattern of keeping myself in a place of feeling bad. Ain't nobody doing that to me. Nobody's holding me back and holding me down. It's not my husband. It's not my children. It's not my friend. But it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of a self-compassion pause. Okay, so I want you all to use that. I want you to think about that. Also, I want you all right now, as you in terms of challenge with your, like I really just would rather avoid this, and we want to address some of those things, on this evening. Self-compassion pause. I'm stuck on that for a minute. Have you done it?
A self-compassion
what you
pause.
Think about it? Because it's people like you that really need it.
Why you say that?
I knew he was going to ask me that. You see, I set him up. It's people like you. So one thing I know about my husband is that he oftentimes, let me talk to you. You oftentimes, I feel like you're oftentimes trying to measure up. I feel like you're trying to measure up. You're trying to measure up in so many ways. And, we know this about all people. And my husband and I know this. I know this. But all of us in some way, in different areas of our lives, we are missing, something, and we're trying to measure up. We're trying to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that happens with you. I know it happens with me. And so in those moments, you got to be like, dude, it sounds real sappy, self-compassion pause, right? But it's for real.
Mm-hmm.
But those are those are the types of things that I think would be really helpful for you, sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about it? I just kind of put you out there a little bit.
Nah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I have for whatever reason, well, I know the reason, but I have a tendency to allow codependency to impact me, and impact my life. And so oftentimes what that leads to is operating from a space of trying to meet certain needs, even if they aren't necessarily in your best interest. And so yeah, so in doing that, I mean, essentially and fundamentally, what you're trying to do is measure up. I mean, you're trying to measure up, you're trying to hit a particular mark, and you're trying to do that because you derive some sense of esteem from that. But the reality is that, if I recognize that God is in me, through me, with me, and for me, and wherever God is, there can be no imperfection.
Mm-hmm.
That I am enough as I am, and so I don't necessarily need to always check the boxes to be approved of. I don't always need to hit the mark to get the nod or to get the okay. The reality is that I already got the okay, and I'm already okay. And so I definitely receive that. And I need to do more self-compassion pauses, and really show some appreciation for me. I'm one of them type of people, y'all. I'm a Pisces, and so I'm intuitive in the sense that I absorb a lot of stuff, and I feel a lot of stuff, feel a lot of energy and stuff like that. So again, I take on a lot of stuff, and which is a part of the reason why I lifted up earlier too, this whole thing about recognizing that during this time period, I see somebody says, I miss my mom and my dad.
Somebody else said,
missing my parents.
Angie
Yeah,
and Cheryl. We hear you, Angie and Cheryl.
That's real talk right there, and I feel that type of stuff. So that's why I lift it up. But again, I think that it is important. And thank you for lifting that up, that I need to do more of it, self-compassion pauses, and focus it on self, because even in my moments where I still away, I still be feeling a little bit guilty about the fact that I'm still in the well.
And that probably don't help you.
You really don't.
But have I gotten better? I'm not just still away. Some of the times I do.
But it's really not about you, though.
What you mean?
It's really about me and where I'm at. I mean, just me arriving in a space where.
Because I be getting an attitude sometimes.
Yeah.
Y'all pray for me. Pray for me. So I see that some of you all have, dropped some comments, and my husband just talked about Cheryl, and I think it was Angie talking about missing their parents. And one of the things that I think is really helpful is having rituals around persons that you have lost. Rituals, what I mean by that, the one that we all know about is going to the grave site, right? And going to see the person, in their grave site. Or, for some people, even just sitting around the table during the holidays and talking about them and reflecting on them. For some people, getting by yourself and paying attention to the things that you remember about them, flipping through the photo albums and enjoying some of those memories. That's important. If we don't ever take time to pause, but people are just gone, and then we don't, we don't pause and say they're gone, and how do I kind of bring them back up in my spirit so that I can connect with them? Then whatever we resisted persists. We resist grief, and we resist sadness, we resist reflection. It's going to keep persisting until you pay attention to what it is that your spirit needs. I see that Marjani has said that being in the same room with relatives who have bad energy, my mom invites any and every relative over. I'm no phony. If I don't like you, I don't speak. Dang, girl. So you just be like, I ain't hear that. Somebody say, hey, how you doing? Whatever, I'm not talking to you. But Marjani, I understand your feeling, and I understand that. Here's the thing that I think is really important about relatives that we have, who we often connect with during the holidays. We just have to make sure that we're responsible for the energy that we bring. We're not responsible for other people's energy. We're not responsible for responding to it, for interpreting it, for getting triggered by it. We are just responsible for ourselves, caught up into what is she going to come in here saying? Is she going to be starting something? And don't let nobody get some spirits some spirits in a cup, you know what I mean? That's what I mean, these kind of spirits, then loose lips start to prevail and that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, what kind of experience do I want to have? What about my mama's house? What kind of experience do I want to have as I invite people over to my home or as I go to common places to connect with other people? Then I need to bring that energy. And so if it becomes a challenge for you to come with that energy, then you don't have time to focus on other people, even though they will try you. Lord knows, I'm not one to be tried. I don't got time. I ain't got time to be tried. But as soon as I start to say what I just said, I ain't got time. I already know I'm going in the wrong direction. Yeah. I know I'm going in the wrong direction. So I'm like, I ain't got time. Wait a minute. What is it that I'm trying to experience? What is it that I want to, bring this holiday season? I'm in control. I'm in control of the energy. Yeah. I see that my sis here, I know you say get nervous when I start touching the screen. Elosia, I hope I said your name right, sis. She says, enjoying my husband and son at home for the holidays, reassuring each other. Something got in the way of your comment about reassuring each other how much we appreciate and respect each other. Yeah. That's what's up. Hey, Christina from Cali. I love how you said that you all reassure each other about how much you love and respect each other.
Dwayne said, wait. Oh, I'm sorry.
You was gonna just take over. Sorry. You see how you try to do? Hold up. What I love about what you just said is that that's an intentional action. We can be so busy during the holidays, preparing and getting ready and going to places and all of that. But how do you connect in with your boo and reassuring each other about how much you love each other and how much you respect each other? That is a to-do. You need to put that on your list. If you're like me, you got a to-do list. Because if I don't have a to-do list, I ain't gonna remember it. Okay, if it ain't written down, it's not happening. If you're like me, put it on your to-do list. Thank you, Elosia. I hope I'm saying your name right for sharing that with us. Because how can you do that with your partner this holiday season? How can you reassure them about how much they mean to you, how important they are to you, how much you appreciate them, right? That's gratitude. Those kinds of practices, being intentional about that. When can you get a moment with them? You know what I'm saying? When y'all are walking into the house that y'all are going to for Thanksgiving from the car, how can you holler at them real quick and be like, just straight up be like, I appreciate you. I really do. And they might be like, what? They're not used to you saying that? Maybe they are used to you saying that. And if that's the case, that's great. But if they're not, like, where'd that come from? I just do. I'm grateful for you. Utter those words. Yeah. Utter those words. So I know you said somebody else had a comment here.
Yeah, somebody said, when do you cut off the relative that never brings nothing, but always goes home with 2 to-go plates every year?
Oh my goodness.
What do you do?
Lord.
I guess, truthfully, I guess I'm not really petty like that. So it's not.
But I raise my hand because I'm a petty mofo. I'm petty. You know what I'm saying? My husband, I be asking him stuff all throughout the process of getting ready for Thanksgiving. We have people over to our home. We've done that for the last 3 years, 4 years or so. Kind of like my mother and his mother handed over the responsibility to me. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not ready yet, but every year. But we've been doing that, right? And so when people do that, I'm like, wait a minute. I be checking in with my boo. Am I being petty? He be like, yeah. Yeah. Like,
he was petty earlier than that.
Is it really that serious? I'm a witness. I say all the time, my name is Aiyana, and I'm a petty mofo. I am. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I be, but I'm trying to change my ways, Yvette. I'm trying to change my ways.
Charge it to the culture.
Charge it to the culture. I like that, Yvette. Charge it to the culture.
Charge it to the
You know what I'm saying? So, but let me just say this. I want to actually reply to that. The person who comes, and these mamas ain't never got nothing. You know what I'm saying? Coming in the house like, hey, how you doing? You looking for they ain't got nothing. All they got is their purse. You know what I'm saying? Or they coat. You're like, oh, okay. Right. But here's the thing. We have to practice acceptance. Whether it's about bringing food, whether it's about bringing a bad attitude, whether it's about bringing people that they didn't have, any real permission to bring, right? Whether it's whatever, just relatives that get on your last nerve for whatever reason. And trust this, peep this. Whatever gets on your last nerve doesn't necessarily get on the next person's last nerve. So why is that important? Because what gets on your nerves tells you something about yourself. It is not a universal thing, right? So that means that there's some areas that you need to stretch in, right? It doesn't mean that it's not legitimate, but there's some areas you need to stretch in. Because I ask my husband all the time about stuff, and he'd be like, ain't nobody tripping off that. You petty. I'm like, dang, you right, I am. I am petty, you know what I'm saying? And I just go ahead and just keep it real with myself. That's how I can be. And then I adjust. But you have to practice acceptance.
Yeah.
Accept people for who they are, where they are, and what they do to you in your family and outside of your family. You don't have to entertain it, but you don't have to try to change it. Either you're going to say, you're going to put on the invitation, or you're going to tell people when you send out your notes, don't come up in here without some food. Or you're just going to, make some suggestions, and people going to come, and people not going to come with food. And you're just going to have to practice acceptance. So
I got a couple of questions.
Wait a minute. Marjani said, coming 4 hours late is disrespectful, especially when you volunteered to bring the turkey and people are waiting. Wait a minute. If you volunteered to bring the turkey, that's a problem.
We got the main dish.
Marjani, I'm bringing something that wasn't valuable. I can't think of nothing. It's all the Thanksgiving food.
What about the stuffing?
I mean, yeah, that's kind of important. You Patty. He's trying to get on me. But if you're bringing a mac and cheese and greens, I'm kind of petty about that too. But the turkey, that would be kind of disrespectful. And so what are the options there though? Like, real talk. What are the options? What are the options? Somebody said we're so in sync with each other. Oh, thank you. But what are the options? The options are that you just speak the truth, or you ignore it and be fake. So for real, you know what I'm saying?
That's not happening though, boo.
No. When I say I mean
that's not happening on Thanksgiving.
You don't have to be like rude, and you don't have to go on nobody, but you can say like, "Wow, you came 4 hours late. We was waiting on the turkey." Like in a lot of times.
Yeah, you talking about that?
Yeah, my thing is, hold up. Let me give y'all this quick tip. I've done this on the job. I've done this everywhere. I mean, I've done this with Ayize, right? I do this all the time, right? Play dumb, like confused, like, yo. What happened? I was like, what happened? I was so confused. I was concerned about you. Now, you already know you weren't really concerned. You're like, where the hell is this person? Like, I was concerned, where you at? You know what I mean? Like, what was going on? I was concerned because we sitting here, we got the food, we ain't had a turkey yet, and I'm just like, I know you would have probably called or something, right? So I do the confused thing because, I ain't saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm saying it works for me because what it allows me to do is to put out what I need to say. Right?
It don't change nothing.
And say like, you didn't call, and
the turkey's still 4 hours late. The turkey's still 4 hours. It don't change nothing.
It don't change anything, but I want to address the fact that I have a problem with you being late, right? Whatever the issue is, we're focusing on, Marjani's comments, right? But and Tanisha says, at least bring some ice and drinks. Don't come empty-handed, So at the end of the day, though, y'all, the bottom line is, are we going to speak our truth? And yeah, speaking our truth is not just about deep ass philosophical shiznit. Speaking our truth is about being able to say, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, you said you was going to do blah, 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 and you didn't. Or, you know what, you're bringing up this issue again, and you do this every year, and it's really not helpful. It's all about how we share our feelings. It's not really about what we say. It's about how we do it. And I know you heard that before, because you ain't brand new to the world. We tell children that all the time. It's about how you do it. And so the more we practice it, the more we practice saying these things that are uncomfortable, that, make us a little nervous, right? The better we get. But we have to be really intentional about how we package it. Dwayne says, how do you tell your mother-in-law, that she don't need... Wait a minute, hold up. What, Dwayne? What is you saying? How do you tell your mother-in-law?
She can't cook. Don't bring nothing because you can't cook. That's what he want to know.
He said, how you tell your mother-in-law, don't bring nothing because you can't cook? So let me just give you this one. This is
You're walking on a
straight
fine
from the
line,
books.
Bro.
You don't tell her. You don't tell her the one. Because see, so there's one thing about speaking the truth, right? There's another thing that comes into play that's straight up about consideration and respect, right?
It is decency.
You know what I'm saying? Decency. And so you ain't got to eat the food. Just skip over that dish.
And they'll know. They'll know when
they might not know.
When they got a full plate or full container left.
Nobody got it.
They'll get the lesson.
Do y'all have them relatives though that be making the same old nasty stuff, and they keep bringing that junk, and don't nobody be eating it, and they keep bringing that junk every year? You're like, why they keep making this nasty mess? And y'all be out on the deck or over, some people be over in the corner talking like, so-and-so bought this. It's nasty. She keep doing it. She feel good. Just feel good about it, you know, because it means something to her.
Right.
So at the end of the day, we have to be able to balance truth telling with being able to make sure that we are really connecting in our relationships.
I'm trying to figure out
our relationships. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Because what's more important than food, is the relationship. So I'm not gonna be petty about. I'm petty first in my mind. My automatic reflex, just so everybody knows, is to be petty. But then I process that thing and I pay attention to the relationship, right? Somebody said nasty food helps us be grateful for the good food. It does. I pay attention to the relationship and what I want from the relationship. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, you know, look, I feel you, Marjani, this carrot and raisin salad. My mother would bring that joint. Oh, she get it from the Amish market. I'm like, everything like, why you get this joint?
Well, then she said, rest in peace, auntie.
Some people just like that. You know, we all have different likes. You know, we all have different likes.
We do. And the thing that I want to lift up though is that, so while you're saying that everybody should at least bring something, it's really a sensitive area, y'all, because I mean, some people on here, y'all might be in a space where y'all ain't got anything to bring. Y'all don't have the money to even purchase anything, to bring anything. So, but what I do want to say is that we sometimes invite people in or allow people to come just based off of them bringing their energy. You know, I mean, have y'all experienced somebody in your family that they can come empty-handed? They bring the laugh stuff. They bring the jokes. They bring the energy. They bring the fun.
Or the compassion
the warmth, the sensitivity.
Somebody watching this, I'm sorry, I'm not hijacking. I'm just saying,
no,
somebody's on. Tiffany Jones is watching. She was a colleague of mine at my former job. She always brought the warmth and the compassion. Shout out Tiffany, but she always brought that. That's just her being. That's a part of her gift. So everybody brings what they bring. Right?
They bring what they bring. So it doesn't always have to be anything that's physical. It could be emotional. So for the brother who asked the question, what did they want to come with nothing and bring and go home with 2 empty or 2 plates? They could be bringing the energy. Yeah.
And I love Susan Newman Moore, Reverend Susan Newman Moore. She says, when folks show us who they are, believe them and remember for next year. Remember. And so, you know, I love that you put that, because a lot of us feel obligated. Because somebody said earlier that my mother like invites everybody, and they, you know, everybody. And I don't know if she feels obligated to do that, but you are not obligated to do that. You don't have to do anything just because you just have to. You don't have to do it because your mama did it, because people are expecting that. How are you not going to invite so-and-so? If this is your home and you are hosting and you are doing something, maybe you are coordinating, people are not coming to your space, but you're coordinating some get together, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? You can set the standard. So this right here, what I'm talking to you about, is being a grown-ass woman or a grown-ass man. And so there's all kinds of ways that we can be a grown-up, or we can revert into childhood. And it's holiday times. It's holiday times when we have older aunties and uncles and parents around, right? That sometimes as grown adults, we revert into being a child.
So let me ask y'all this question. What are y'all rules around? Okay, I hear what you're saying. So what are y'all's rules around leaving? When do people got to get up out your house? What are y'all's rules around that? And the reason why I'm asking this question, not really, I mean, I enjoy myself immensely.
Oh, don't even do it.
I enjoy myself immensely. But about a week or so ago, maybe about 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, we did this couples potluck. You know, we were doing some relationship education. We had a really great time.
Hold on. Let me tell the people. We're doing a marriage boot camp. We're at the end of the marriage boot camp, and as a part of that, you know, we teach couples, right, every week, and we come together and we teach class. But a part of the experience is not just teaching class. A part of the experience is coming together and connecting. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a potluck, get together, talk, eat food, right? Because you get to experience people in a different way, and you get to have some new comrades. You know what I'm saying? In this relationship game, right? People are talking real stuff, sharing real stuff, right? And you know, from everything that you can think of. Okay.
Yeah. A real good experience. So what time did the potluck start? The potluck started at, what time did the potluck start?
We had the potluck at our house, and the potluck started at 7:30 p.m. on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Hold up. Somebody said I would go to bed. Wait a minute. If they at your house, how you gonna go to bed? You can't, and I swear, like me. My husband was looking at me like, he was looking at me like, he kept bumping me like this. And then some of the couples was like, we saw you bumping Aiyana. We saw you hitting her like.
I really enjoy it. If any of the couples are on here, right? I really enjoy it. I really did enjoy it.
He really did. But but he has a different whatever circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Right? He has a different clock than me. So I was like, we just chilling. But guess what time they left, y'all? 4 a.m.
4 a.m., John.
4 a.m.
4 a.m.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm like
4 a.m. 7:30 to 4 a.m.
I'm proud.
You proud?
I'm like proud. Like we was in that zone getting deep. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like people, we all, of course, everybody has spirits, right? We all have spirits, you know, these ones. And we was talking some good stuff. People were sharing and being vulnerable, talking about all kinds of things that they were experiencing in their relationship. Men were like keeping it real. Women were keeping it real. Receiving feedback from each other. I love it. There's nothing to me.
It was real good talk.
The power
I enjoyed it.
Groups and people kind of coming together who don't necessarily have some significant connection in with each other. You know, like your family, your friends who know you, and they be like, whatever, that ain't true. You know, but you all can just come and connect. That joint was good. Well, look, Larissa, I hope I'm saying your name right. She said 4. Well, I'm trying to read her daggone comment. He just, what the heck? I mean, she says, Larissa says 4 a.m. Oh no, y'all ain't got to go home, but y'all got to get the heck out of here. It's real. So, guys.
But again, I just want to qualify and say that I really enjoyed. You did. I really enjoyed my people. It was a good experience, but at about that 12 o'clock mark, I'm ready to turn that thing in. I'm ready to shut it down. But yeah, 4 o'clock would have worked.
All right, guys. So as we get ready to come to an end this evening, I want to issue a challenge to everyone listening. Somebody, she said, "I'm asleep. Good night."
Is that rude though? I mean, is it rude?
Good night. You know, I'm gonna have a problem if he leave me. I'm gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, get back down here. But here's the thing. This is my challenge I want to issue to every couple, every person who is a half of a couple. Even if you are not a part of the couple, but you are a person who is clear about being intentional in your life and wanting to go to the next level. Here's what I want to challenge you to do on this Thanksgiving. And I want to also say again, as I said earlier, that everybody does not celebrate the holiday. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't celebrate the holiday. But one of the things that I think is important is that it's not as much about the holiday as much as it is about the opportunity to connect. The opportunity to connect with other people, to connect back in with family who perhaps, you know, this is your fam, like, you know them, you see them all the time, but when do you really get with them? You know, to connect and play spades and, you know, rap and talk a bit and eat and laugh and so forth. And if that's even outside of you here for the singles, represent. If that's outside of your comfort zone, you know, I want to challenge everybody here to do something that puts you outside of your personal comfort zone during the holiday season. Maybe for those of you who maybe do not celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday, but you keep, you know, you find yourself going over to your relative's house because everybody's together. You know, perhaps you can not be so consumed with that, and you can just connect in with your family, because family is where it's at. Family is the foundation of all communities, and it's not just about your biological family, right? I had a client a week ago. She told me, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm getting ready to have Friendsgiving." I said, "What's Friendsgiving?" She said, "Oh, that's when I get together with friends before Thanksgiving. We all come together and we just connect and we build." Right. So whatever it is that you can do, if you don't normally talk to people so much, you kind of stay in your corner because you feel like you're the black sheep of the family. I use that term a little hesitantly, black sheep. You know how we always make black everything bad, but I'm just going to go ahead and use it for the purpose of this conversation. If you don't tend to connect in with people, right, because, you know, you think people see you a certain way because you used to be on drugs, or, you know, you had an attitude problem, you know what I'm saying, or you had a baby out of wedlock, you know, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, how can you challenge yourself to connect in differently? Because connection is the power that you need to continue to move forward between now and the end of the year so that you can enter into 2018 in a very powerful way. I'm telling you, surrender. Connect this holiday season. I don't care whether or not you subscribe to all of it or not. I don't care if your family is cray-cray or not. I don't care if people just be drinking and getting crazy and then that's not your flow. I don't care if, you know, people is just super overly religious, which is different than being spiritual, and everything is tight and you can't be yourself. Whatever it is, go ahead and connect into the challenge. Because everything at the end of the day starts and ends with your perception of what you see, and how you engage that perception and how you overcome it is the power that you really want to connect into. So make sure, y'all, that you don't let this holiday season, this Thanksgiving time, miss you. Don't miss it. Make it useful, make it purposeful. And remember, none of this stuff is easy. It's all easier said than done. It's not as difficult as you think it is, but you must, if you want to do it, stop playing and start pushing.
Y'all. Hey, before we wrap it up, though, I want to give a shout out to two couples, Naomi and Joel. I want to shout them out.
The marriage investors. Look them up on Facebook.
They just released their book, Shattered. And so check them out, y'all. They're definitely some good folks, some positive folks, and we connected in with them on the BMW UK marriage cruise. And like I said, they just released their book, so check that out, especially if you're going through difficulty in your relationship, and you'll be able to get a glimpse of what they experienced and how they overcame this whole shattered piece in their relationship.
I see the other couple.
The other couple,
Moncho and Nawasha Edu. Yes.
Want to shout them out too, y'all, because a powerful couple, an extremely powerful couple doing some major work when it comes to healing Black folks and really lifting up the importance of operating from a culture-centered perspective, from an Afrocentric perspective when it comes to being in relationship. And they actually have a Coma Day. And a Coma Day is celebrated in February, but they do, I believe, a period prior to that. But again, check them out. Moncho and Nawasha Edu.
Okay, Prince. Look, what's your name, Prince? You got too many letters up in this junk. Love you, boo. Prince Zizi Faye. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful because it might be actual name. So, but anyway, on YouTube, Prince, I'm just gonna call you Prince, said YouTube should start a podcast. And I just want to give a little whisper. All right, and look, the marriage investors just dropped a link so that you all can, as you're listening, you can go ahead and click on the link and check out their book. So look, we're starting a podcast. Yay! That's happening in 2018. That's a part of some of the work that I'm doing with women. And we will also have a relationship component. So that will be happening in 2018. A podcast will be happening. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you real quick. I'm talking like a mug, but I'm about to be done. Okay. Look, I was listening to a podcast earlier today. Okay, Prince. I was listening to a podcast earlier today, Yvette. It's actually with Christina Hassler. White girl. But that joint really resonates with me. Look her up, Christina Hassler, H-A-S.
Somebody said awesome. Overcomers Rock.
Overcomers Rockin'. That's where we going. Yes, because, wait a minute. I haven't even said it. I just got too many things. I do think I have a little adult ADD. Work with me. The Art of Overcoming with Aiyana is here on Facebook. I will drop the link when I finish with this video. The Art of Overcoming. And that's really about kind of getting through our stuff, getting through our issues, whether it be in our relationships or personally. But I was listening to this podcast with Christina Hassler. And she's all about personal development, that kind of thing. And what she said on there, she said, we need to figure out what it is. This is not anything you haven't heard before. She said, what is it that you do? She was talking about being at a conference, and she was at a conference. Oh, look at all the love. Yay. And she was talking about being at a conference with Shonda Rhimes and some other folks. And they were talking about the fact that Shonda Rhimes, who, produced a Scandal, right? The writer, director, everything, producer, right? She said she was writing stories when she was a little girl. And somebody else was on that joint. Oh, it was an architect. I don't remember this guy's name, but he was drawing pictures of buildings since he was a little kid. And so when I was little, I used to open up the Essence magazine, the Ebony magazine on my parents' coffee table. And I used to go to the ads. I told my husband, I ain't telling nobody else this, y'all. I used to go to the ads, y'all. For what I'm talking about, Luster's, what is it? Pink oil moisturizer. The ads that was in the Jet and the Essence and the Ebony, right? And I used to read them, and I would read them as if I was the broadcaster, right? As if I was the person talking. And so what really resonated with me today, and we've already made that decision, is that, I like to talk, if y'all ain't figured that joint out yet, right? And I've been doing that for a long time. And I am sometimes hesitant to say, but I think that it is maybe, it's not maybe. See, I'm doing that because why am I doing it? I'm kind of shrinking right now because, you know, we don't want to stand in our brilliance. So I'm just going to say, I know how to talk, and I have confidence in that, and I do it well. And so a podcast will be helpful because we can coach people live. We can talk about issues. You guys can call in. We can do so many great things. And so we will be doing that in 2018. It will be focused on women, but it'll also have a relationship component. So y'all just look out for that. Guess who the first interviewee is going to be? My little sister, Samira Wiley, from Orange is the New Black and Handmaid's Tale. So just keep a lookout because we're going to talk all about overcoming and all we got to do to keep overcoming and get what we want to get in our lives and in our relationships. All right, y'all.
Hold on, hey, before we go, if you're not on our email list, go to rocksolidrelationships.com. The link should be up at the top of this description for this live stream right here. Go to rocksolidrelationships.com and get on the email list. This upcoming Friday, we're going to be doing a Black Friday sale. It's going to be remarkable. It's going to blow your mind away, especially if you know of somebody. You can actually gift this Black Friday sale if you know of somebody who may be in need of some relationship support. It's going to be phenomenal, y'all. So go get on that. And we're going to be sending the email out Thursday or actually Friday morning in reference to the Black Friday sale. So check that out. Get on the email list, rocksolidrelationships.com, and we'll make sure that you get an email letting you know that, you know, it's on and popping.
All right, guys, we hope that this has been a help to you. As always, keep following your call, keep following your passion, keep following your purpose, keep trying to figure it out and figure out what it is that you need in your relationship. All change, all benefits, all beauty starts with you. So turn that mirror back around to yourself, figure it out for yourself, and keep it moving. But remember, at the end of the day, you can't do any of these things. Happy Thanksgiving, unless you stop playing and start pushing. Bye.
All right, y'all. Peace.